Okay, so once you have that on there, set that aside. Then you're going to take your clothes hanger, and needle nose is probably the best thing you want to use for this because you're going to need to get kind of small. But you want to go down to the end. You want to turn it back, but don't turn it back all the way. You want this to be out just a little bit because whenever you go to put it in, you're not going to want to have to push it down and go inside and everything. You can just hook it right on the outside and it's got its hook. So you want to go straight down with the beam here, straight down, not all the way, just a little bit of a bend. And then you want to go sideways with it. It doesn't really matter which direction, and you don't have to make this real big, but you want to go sideways with it. Your hook's going this direction, but you want the loop to be off to the side. So we'll actually turn that off to the side there. We'll come back in here, and we're going to loop it around this direction. And before you get it closed off and everything, and get this sideways here. There we go. Before you get it closed off and everything, you're going to want to actually hook your rubber band around the end of it there. Hopefully you can tell what I'm doing. You're going to hook it around here because that's going to be your eyelet. Hook it around there, and then once you have that hooked, you can go ahead and close this off so your rubber band is inside there and it's not going to be able to come back out. So once you get that in there, take your wire cutters and just cut it off at the end there. Okay, so basically what you're going to have is this. And the reason we do it off to the side right there is you want this to lay down flat where the rubber band's at, but your hook, you want to be able to put your hook down here and not have to push down on it and get it all crooked and everything. Like I said, you don't want that hook to be too far in. So if you leave it out just a little bit, it makes it a lot easier to actually hook it in there. So that's basically what this is going to be, is your hooks to make sure that your doors close securely. You just pull both of these down, make sure your door's flat. Just pull it down just a little bit, doesn't have to be a lot. Pull it down a little bit, hook it in, and there you go. So it's nice and flat, you don't have to worry about anything getting out. Your actual hole is in here. Everything's covered. It's gapped quite a ways on the top and the sides. Everything's covered up. So it's nice and smooth. You're not getting hung up on anything. If you have any parts of wire that are sticking out, poking out, or anything like that, you can just push them down. Take your needle nose, like this corner right here is coming up just a little bit. Just take my needle nose, point it down a little bit. Now it's nice and smooth. It's not sticking out there at all. Alright, so last step we got coming up now is going to be the top, which you can put the top pretty much anywhere you want. I like to do it right above where your door's at, just so whenever you go to pick up, your door is on the side. But we're going to do a basic little thing here that I do with my clothes hanger. The first one that I built, as you can see, I put this little finger hole here, and basically that's so you can put a snap on it, put your line on it, throw it out in the water. That's all you really need it for. With this one, I think I'm going to make it bigger, so I've actually got a handle, so it's going to be much wider, go across here, so you can actually grab it with your whole hand. That way, if I need to carry a few of them in my hand, I've got a lot more room to work with. So what we're going to do is we'll take our wire here. We're going to want to see, roughly I'm thinking we'll probably only want it to be about that tall. Actually going to be a little bit less than that because we're going to bend this up on the end. So we just go up, I would say about 2 inches, and go straight across. So we've got a 90-degree angle. At that point you want to grab the bottom, pretty close to the bottom, and turn it up. So you've got a little hook on the bottom there. Try to straighten it up if you can. Okay, so that should fit. You can turn it sideways or however it's going to go in there. Get it to go in. Okay, figured out where that is. Now we want to figure out how long we want to make it. That looks about right. So we'll do another 90-degree. Just like that. Okay, so now when we put it in, it's going to be that direction. So now we just need to figure out how far to go down on this side. 2 inches is about right, and then you're going to do your loop on the bottom. So I'm just going to go ahead and cut off the bottom here, just so I don't have all this extra to work with. Okay, and that is kind of is longer on this side, but that's okay because I can cut the end of it off if I need to. All right, so I'm actually going to measure this so I can get it, make sure that I get it right. So we're going to go about, yeah, it's about 2 inches down. So figure out where 2 inches is on this. And it's going to be about right there. So at that point, I want to turn this one around, make a loop. There's a nice loop in it. I'll go ahead and cut the end off. About right there. Owie. And that is crooked. But that's okay because I can change it. I'll actually do that. And we'll bring this one down a little bit further. Alright. First time I'm making this handle, so may come out a little odd, but anyway, so that's going to be our handle. We'll figure out where the middle is. Best way to do that, of course, is you're measuring. It is 17 and a half. So 17 and a half. I'm going to go 8 and a half. And we'll just mark that as our center spot. Make sure it's set exactly where I want it. I have my mark right here showing that that's the middle. This is where it's balancing pretty good. So we're going to call it the middle right about here. And we want that to be right in the center of that, so we've got our center of gravity basically. So we want these ends to go into the squares here. So once I get one side set in, just like that, I should be able to set the other side in as well. And of course one of these is going to have to go through the wire. You're going to have to push it down in there in order to get it to well, I think we're actually going to do this. I'm going to make it just a little bit smaller on that end so it's a little easier to push through. Make sure they're both still on the same run, which this one is. Check it, make sure that is level, that is the center. And so now what we'll do is we'll take these ends and we'll crush them down. And there you go. If you want it to be perfect, you can measure it, get it exactly how you want it. That's going to work for me. So there's your handle there, nice and solid. You can carry them around. Got your doors latched. Everything's solid in there. Nothing's moving around. Pretty solid little trap. Should work good for you. And that's how you make those. Again, for any of you guys that are checking this out, make sure that you go to my comments. Make sure you make the comments. Make sure you let me know if you make any yourself, and if you come up with any new designs or change anything on this one. I'd like to know, just because there might be something I want to do to mine as well. Again, I can't find anywhere on the internet that anybody's doing these, so let me know. Send me an email or leave me a comment. Make sure you rate it. If you don't like it, don't rate it. Rate it at a 1 or 2. If you really liked it, it's helpful and something you can use yourself, of course give me a 4 or 5, whatever you think. But anyway, that's how you make this trap, and good luck to you and good luck fishing.